Hello, and welcome, my Gemini collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs, and cross-watchers. Welcome to your 5-card draw. What do I need shadow read for this beautiful new full moon, June into July 2023? That is a mouthful, and I am your reader, Angelo, Lyons, Mal for short. Professional witch, professional intuitive, president of Drawing a Circle Production since 1998, 25 years in service, author of Words of Grace from a Professional Witch. There is a link in the description box. It'll bring you to a Kindle version of Words of Grace from a Professional Witch. Rather well done. The original version, though, the original version, which is a Fellini Film Fest compared to the IKEA-styled Kindle version, that's over on Patreon. Some of my subscribers have access to that original PDF format. I got Seekers, Humans, Heroes, Angels, Witches, Immortals, Mystics, Gods, and Goddesses over on my Patreon. Loving it so very much. All of my subscribers get 3 things in common. They get a daily check-in with me unless I can't. And a couple of days ago, my eldest cat, Sebastian, crossed the Rainbow Bridge. Took a day. Yeah, we're okay. If you're following me on Facebook and Instagram, you know about my boys, my 3 male black cats. So now Balthazar and Melchior and we're doing okay. It's all good. We're hanging in there. But so obviously I did not live stream. But otherwise, every single morning, pretty much, I send them an unlisted YouTube live stream link. We chat about the day's astrological weather, the magical applications, the spiritual implications, always ending with a prayer, a blessing, a little something to send us on our way. It is honestly what I think has gotten me through most of my days, considering what I do for a living and having a personal life. You get the vibe, I'm sure. They also get all the extended readings, the part 2s to the part 1s. There's no extended for this one, but there are a lot of them, and they're all about soul contracts and twin flames and soulmates and all that jazz. But the third thing they get is an extensive discount with private sessions for me. We'll talk about it at the end of the video after the reading if you want to chill for that. Otherwise, it's the best thing I've ever done in my career, and I've had a long career as a professional witch, a spiritual teacher, a mystical artist, on and on and on and on. So, yeah, go check it out. Click the menu. We have a 7-day trial running at the time of this recording. 7-day free trial for Seeker, the first level. So you can come check that out. Come play on Patreon. Getting middle and end of the day, no matter what's going on. I'm the Archangel of Lyons, Angelo Lyons in this life. So you just call me Mal. I don't take myself all that seriously because it's very easy to. Some of the stuff they show you from the divine, regardless. If you are new to the channel, let's get you some explanation before we dive into the divination. Anybody who's used to this stuff, you know you can skip ahead, though I try and make it fun every time. So let's talk about it if you are new. A 5-card draw is just 1 card from 5 different decks, getting you clues, tips, and hints about absolutely anything. We're using them as fire, earth, air, water, and spirit to help you navigate, plant the seed and watch it grow, help it grow for a 2-week period, a new moon to full moon, to help you clarify, refine your manifestational process, your spell work, your prayer work, your intentional who's what's this, your law of attraction, have at it for this 2-week period. We are looking at, now interesting, your new moon in Gemini. You get it, but not for long. The new moon in Gemini, Sunday, June 18th, goes new at 12:37 a.m. Eastern Time. I am in New York. Goes void, of course, at 2:24 a.m. So if you want to hit that, that's the window of opportunity. I know it's small. But then it goes into Cancer at 6:58 a.m. Eastern. So I'm going to be working both of those. I got 2 different spells pretty much set up for that, but I use all the information that comes from my Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs from these readings. Of course I do. That'd be silly not to, right? Right, you got to back up your work, right? Show your work, show your work. And 2 weeks later then, when the moon rides at her peak, then your heart's desires seek. You cast your heart's desires for the new by the full moon. You got a good shot, particularly with the full moon in Capricorn on a Monday. July 3rd, 7:39 a.m. So I know it's a Monday, but Capricorn, Saturn, coffee beans. You could do like a coffee spell or something work, right? Stumble at a bed and a stumble in the kitchen, right? In between those two dates of note, on the 21st, I just drew it weird, is obviously Litha, summer solstice, the sun going into Cancer on the 21st. Mercury will then move into Cancer a couple of days later on the 26th. So, I mean, as a Gemini, I don't know, but if you have any water planets in particular, you might want to be aware of that. It moves through every sign pretty much once a month with retrogrades, etc. Because then Neptune is going retrograde. It did not say what sign it is in. I don't remember off the top of my head right now. I think is it in Pisces? Oh boy, I'm a Pisces moon. And that happens the last day of the month in June 30th. So, you know, take that into consideration. That could be a little tricky for manifestation, but, you know, you do the best you can. And fire, earth, air, water, and spirit, the 5 magical elements, the holistic bodies, right? Physical, emotional, mental, spiritual, all of that. We can all manifest our heart's desires by water, by earth, by air, by fire, in the spirit of unity, because everybody has heart's desires, and in my experience, I don't remember choosing these heart's desires. They can be very tormenting, right? Have them since birth, can't get rid of them, no matter where you go, there they are. So that's because they're part of a larger plan in my experience as all of this. We all have our heart's desires calling us forward to manifest destiny, not just suffer our fate. So it's got a much larger implication, because as each and every one of us takes even a step forward on that journey, this world shifts into a more golden timeline rather than a leaded timeline. Spiritual alchemy, right? So, cross-watchers, you have the opportunity to help the Gemini you are cross-watching for manifest their heart's desires just with sympathy, empathy, understanding, insight, and maybe there's a mantra you could do as an archangel you could call upon. You know what? There's even a rock, a crystal you could tune to, and considering one of these cards is the higher selves of all involved, I would think that that one might be of import. So, enough explanation. Let's do the divination. Both feet on the floor if you can. Focus on your breath if you will. And I will do my very best to get you the clarity, guidance, and grace necessary, needed. So what do I need, read? All the waxing and waning reads that I do to manifest your heart's desire, because it's just going to make this world better for absolutely everybody and everything, including the kittens and the puppies and the birds and the bees and the flowers and the trees and the sky, stars up above. And that thing called love. Shall we? Let's do this. Please take a nice deep breath. I must be feeling better. Still point. Oh, here we go. Ancestral override. Using the magical spell cards. Thank you. By Lucy Cavendish. For the element of fire, I call upon the ancestors of magic, miracles, and mysticism for the Gemini collective, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs, and cross-watchers who are watching this video and drawn to this reading. Please, beloved ones, what is the spell fragment? The little piece of magic, the clue, the tip, the hint for the element of fire, representing what they yearn for, what they burn for, what their hearts desire, or perhaps what is required to manifest their heart's desire this beautiful, beautiful June to July. Best possible decision. I've gotten this before. Artemis, goddess of the bow. Help me see what must be known. Okay, not a perfect rhyming couplet, but this is my ring to Artemis right here, my totem to Artemis. So the best possible decision, we're talking definitely throat chakra here. My book, Words of Grace, is in chakra chapters. Anatomy of the Spirit, Carolyn Mays, trust me. Willpower, spit, swallow, or chew. What is the best possible decision? So obviously someone's heart's desire is probably not to, well, maybe to always make the best possible. It's kind of general. It could be about anything. But it feels like that's what is required to manifest your heart's desire. So Let's give it some fuel and ground it. The Element of Earth, the Crystal Oracle by Tony Carmine Salerno. If you have the stone, I say it every reading, if you have the stone indicated, it is a wonderful opportunity to create a magical carrier, an amulet, a talisman, whatever you want to call it. Just a reminder to put this into play a little bit every day, right? Over a 2-week period or whenever you're catching this. Really, these are spell kit reads. You could go back into the archive in the playlist and just like see something that clicks and give it a shot, right? So, but if clear quartz does everything, because that's the truth. But I use jewelry because I'm going to wear it anyway, might as well. Please take a nice deep breath, this should be fun. Still point. Ariel, override. As I call to my beloved Archangel Ariel, one of the archangels of the North powers of Earth, hence the Crystal Oracle, beloved Archangel of Lyons, beloved Archangel of Nature, Archangel of Wealth, one of the virtues too, commander of the virtues, if I hear that right nowadays. Congratulations on the promotion. One card in clarity for the Gemini Collective, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs, and cross-watchers watching this video, drawn to this reading. What is their element of Earth? The fuel to feed the fire, to help them ground and manifest their heart's desire that one would think most likely requires the best possible decision this beautiful, beautiful June to July. That's sort of like a song waiting to happen, isn't it? Ooh, lapis lazuli. Lapis lazuli. It's a good tongue word. Lapis lazuli. Come on, a third eye stone if ever there was one. I mean, okay, Sodalite tries to go there, but it's really more third chakra. I opened right to it. You're screwed. Here we go. Protection, power, expansive thinking for a Gemini. Who would have thunk it? Lapis lazuli is a highly spiritual crystal that helps cut through illusions and expands your thinking in ways that serve to empower you. So what better than to make the best possible decision than to see beyond the illusions? Because we all have them. We believe we're separate from each other, right? Think what would happen if all of a sudden all of humanity, like, I don't know, an episode of Charmed or Bewitched or I Dream a Genie, pick your magic. All of a sudden we all saw that we were all not just interconnected, one thing just appearing to be, right? All war, right? Compassion would rule like that. I think we're not ready for that just yet. This is hysterical. It is not time, is it not, it's a question, is it not time to let go of an outmoded way of thinking or a belief system which no longer serves you? Well, I don't know, it seems like all of humanity is going through that. Remember, you are eternally protected. There is nothing to fear, so just be yourself. Liars can't heal. Liars don't heal because they're not in reality. In other words, they're putting forth an illusion, a delusion. And, like I said, we all believe that we're separate on some. We're not. So we tell ourselves that lie with every second subconsciously. So to be authentic, you will soon find yourself thinking outside the square. And in doing so, you will begin to unlock your true and unique potential. Be a leader, not a follower. Dare to be different, and success is yours. Dare to be different, WLIR. You have the ability to mentally and emotionally rise above all you encounter in life, and in doing so, a clearer picture emerges for the best possible decision. Now, Lapis can run you. Can run you some bucks. Depends, but you could always find a piece of tumbled somewhere online. Just online, buyer beware, because they will try and pawn off Sodalite as Lapis. If it has pyrite in it, that's how I know, at least. I was in the industry for a while. Still am, kind of, sort of. Anyway, so we definitely have a pattern of blue here as well, which is usually an element of water thing. I think for clear blue skies, that's working for you. So, your element, the element of air, we are using the Archangel Fire Oracle, but archangels, they are certainly celestial, so technically they're outside of the atmosphere, but the element of air, the thought process, right? The air to stoke the fire. Fire can't exist without air. So what you think about all this stuff is important, particularly with that lapis lazuli, right? That expansive thinking, seeing it from a higher place and knowing that you're safe in doing so and being authentic. Well, everyone has access to the archangels. Like, okay, my higher self is a part of Archangel Ariel, the Archangel of Lyons. Look, it's in my name. It's not like I could avoid it forever in this lifetime, right? So then that archangelic consciousness is part of a virtue, and then up and up and up all the way over to this the other side of the source wall where there's just that. Yeah. So you got to call, though. They do not show up. Well, they're there, but they don't intervene or intercede unless you ask. Please take a nice deep breath. It's just how it is. It's nice, right? Still point. Archangelic override. As I call upon the pantheons of archangels, for the Gemini collective, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs, and cross watchers watching this video drawn to this reading, who's waiting in the wings with their wings ready to zoom in and fly and help out with the element of air. Beloved Archangel, which one are you? What is your guidance, your grace, your love, your wisdom, your power to help them manifest their heart's desire, which either is or does require the best possible decision with a piece of lapis in the mix? Ooh, Azrael. Just had Azrael for my Virgo shadow read, a card draw shadow read. This is transitions. Considering it was, but maybe a few weeks ago, and Sabby crossing, this was, much as I wanted to interpret it another way, I'm in a completely different transitions. That's what I mean. It's like I apply these to my life big time. Because why not, right? It's from my point of view, and yours too. It's sort of like free info, right? Azrael, card number 18, transitions, known as the Angel of Death. Azrael isn't at all as scary as his name suggests. I highly recommend the Terry Pratchett Discworld series if you want to get a different take on death. Gee up, Pinky! In fact, he is perhaps the kindest and gentlest of all the archangels. I'm really trying not to cry on camera today. Just like the mysterious cloaked guardian leading the way across a treacherous bridge in his card, he is associated with bringing comfort and reassurance in times of intense transition. If I keep reading this, I'm going to cry, but I'm going to keep reading it. Still point. Azrael not only guides souls that are crossing over, he gently separates the soul from the body at death and sets the spirit free, but he also gives guidance and reassurance to those in the counseling professions. Like Raphael, Azrael can help your heart heal in times of loss, grief, and hardship. He is especially present during a bereavement. Let's go to the message, shall we? You are at a major point of transition. Release all that is currently falling away with love. Cheapers creepers, Azrael. Remember that after a death, there always comes rebirth. There is no death without rebirth, no crucifixion without resurrection. Course in Miracles 101. If you have pulled this card following the loss of a loved one, this message comes as validation that the angels are guiding their way safely through the veil. Blessed be. I mean, look, this could be very, very low. Particularly, like, this need not so very much be a literal death, but certainly it could be an ego death as the best possible decision, and you being really, really clear that what you're going through is perhaps the releasing of something in the past, waning to now getting that rebirth part of it, right? And whatever loss is going on here, to see it from a more expansive place, because this is about the mind. There is no death, there is no birth if we're immortal souls. Boom. You know, what are you going to do? That's just the truth. These, again, are illusions, things that are not true. So to make the best possible decisions, no, look, that doesn't mean you got to shave your head, you know, you color it in with a violet magic marker, you know, run around the mall blessing people. You don't have to do that. Although, if anyone was going to do it, it would be a Gemini. Blessed be. But, you know, Azrael, I mean, he is wonderful. And I mean, you could not get more, like, honest, authentic, right? This lapis lazuli than me here right now. And I just don't want to smudge my makeup. Oh, I cry plenty. I'm a Pisces moon, sweetheart. Dude. Let's not be silly. Speaking of emotion, the element of water, as I said, cross watchers, you're probably in this one, the Whispers of Love Oracle we use for the higher selves of all involved. So, you know, higher selves actually applies to higher selves of people and other beings that are no longer physically incarnate. I mean, that is the immortal, eternal, divine aspect of self. That we are just a little teeny tiny tip of the eyelash down here. Billy eyelash. So, it's so good to be back to work. I'm doing what I love, and all will heal in time. So, the element of water to juice it up. The love that is the divine power, the heart chakra stuff. And let's just call upon the higher selves, shall we? Please take a nice deep breath. Can't get no more authentic than this, folks. Still point. Because that's the gig. Higher selves. Override. Why not? It's a call upon the higher selves of all involved. Fifth dimension and above, eighth chakra and above, beloved higher selves. What is the whisper of love? The piece of information, inspiration, insight needed by the Gemini collective. Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs, and cross watchers. Just watching this video. You're watching, sharpening that pencil. Keep it sharp. Oh, drawn to this reading. What is your guidance, your grace, your love, your wisdom, your power? What do they need? The element of water to manifest their heart's desire that most likely we would think does require the best possible decision with expansive thinking, and Azrael helping them through this transition, this beautiful, beautiful June to July. Okay. Thank you for the comic relief. I love you. It's the Neil Diamond card. Turn on your heart light. Let it shine wherever you go. Hey, if all else fails, I can always be a Neil Diamond impersonator in a lounge somewhere. I just hope they have open bar. What are the chances? Slim to none. Look, allow yourself in this moment to reflect on a time when you experienced love. Now, if this is connected to a direct and literal loss of someone in your life, death, divorce, distance, you know, the 3Ds, understandable. But that only happens in the 3D, in the third dimension. But that does not mean you do not honor what you feel. That it is tricky sometimes to open your heart. And I'm not saying that this is across the board a grieving situation. Of course, I can't not see that through my own personal lens, and that's authentic for a reader to say on camera for surezies, right? But certainly what gets me through the grief is knowing that my grief proves how deeply I love. It's a Macon healing mantra. That's the spirit card. Let's see if that one comes up. That will confirm for sure. But also it's the love that's underneath it. So when I feel the pain, the grief, it's not that I bypass it. I'm very honest with myself. And I go to the love. In this case for my beloved Sebastian, who will come back as a Susie, a Saul, a Solomon, a Serena. I don't know yet. We'll see how he comes back or she comes back. Yeah. But that's what, brings the tears on. And then I need a nap. And then, you feel better. You rise from those ashes, if you will. So allow yourself in this moment, or as ever, whenever, to reflect on a time when you experience love. Get that heart open. Wow. Okay. It's for all one, how do you keep yourself out of a reading? If you're watching it, supposed to be watching it for the 10 billion readings flying around the internet. If you're watching this one, here we go. The card of spirit. The healing mantra deck by Matt Kahn. Unify this thing to charge it up. And this is why I would say grab a piece of lapis, cast the spell on it with the help of Azrael. Because again, it transitions. It does not have to be so very literal for everybody watching it that someone's going to cross the veil. But turning on that heart light, this could be about, releasing all sorts of stuff through a transition in order to make the best possible decision to to plant something and hope it grow, right? Let's not forget this is a 5-card draw. Beautiful, beautiful. Please take a nice deep breath. Still point. Ascended Masters, override. Thank you. As I call upon the Ascended Masters of the General Assembly, because please, this could be about anything. Yes, I know there's a very literal interpretation on the table, but I can't be for absolutely everybody watching this. So please, one card in clarity, clarify the perfect healing mantra to help the Gemini collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs, and cross watchers watching this video drawn to this reading manifest their heart's desire, which we're pretty sure does require the best possible decision with lapis lazuli, Archangel Azrael, and turning on their heart light this beautiful, beautiful June to July. Expanding inner power. I am my most powerful when my creativity is given a voice. Throat chakra. Okay. This is what's going to bridge the turning on of the heart light with what's going on with the lapis lazuli. The throat chakra is the bridge. Now, expanding into power, I've had this, I've worked all of these mantras before. I've had it since the deck came out. Opened right to it. This is often about when we're dealing with anger, when we're dealing with uncomfortable, destructive emotions, that we turn it into a creative direction. I am my most powerful when my creativity is given a voice. Yeah. When inner power expands, you are able to openly communicate your truths, aspirations, and ideas as a way of circulating the energy that pours in from the cosmos. As energy gets circulated by the sharing of your ideas, the universe is given permission to pour more inspiration, passion, and joy into your energy field. So let's just like stick a pin in that right now. So there is something very much on the table here about being truthful about who you are, right? As that expands to communicate your truth, it's very throat chakra, but with lapis lazuli, right, and the best possible decision, this all clicks. As energy gets circulated by the sharing of your ideas, the universe is given permission to pour more inspiration, passion, and joy into your energy field. As your inner power expands, creativity becomes the life force of source energy surging through you to inspire the embodiment of your highest self. This is about your higher self embodiment. We're not separate from our higher selves. They are us, we are them, blah, 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 right? All that. A direct experience is available. And that's where the turning on your heart light comes in. Because you got to bring into, what's the word Carolyn Mace uses? Oh, congruence, right? To get your heart, throat, and third eye congruent, right? In alignment, if you will. This mantra is ideal for resolving creative blocks, healing traumas, and releasing blocks of stagnation, expanding your inner power. Now that makes sense for waxing because this is about creativity. But there's, particularly if there is mental, emotional pain in any way about a transition that has happened, is happening, or may happen, there is great, not just hope here, but great help here as well, because it's about you claiming the power that you can in the situation, but it's inner power, right? Expanding your inner power by giving your creativity a voice. And yes, if that's grief, if that's rage, if that's raging against the machine, right? You know, whatever it may be, to make it creative rather than destructive doesn't mean it's hearts and flowers, right? Not at all. Look at art, right? Some of the best art has come from pain and suffering. I mean, Walking on Sunshine, Katrina and the Waves, it's a great song. Our Lips Are Sealed probably did not come from a happy time, right? Right. So, you know, just one avenue of expression there verbally, but certainly to give you, and remember, not everybody needs to make product to get paid and monetize their creativity. A lot of people do. Yeah. So let's put this together. It's an intense read, Gemini, but, you know, again, I brought something to the table that, you know, Everything's unfolding as it's supposed to. So a blessimation is a combination of a blessing and a summation. At the end of that, the reading will end, but like I said, I'm going to talk about some stuff that way at the end of the video. Please take a nice deep breath. I feel so naked. Not really. Still point. I'm a Virgo. We're never fully naked. Still point. Pantheonic override. As I call upon the collective pantheons of the divine, for the Gemini collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs, and cross-watchers who are watching this video and drawn to this reading, because what a reading it is. May the Gemini collective and the cross-watchers be blessed with all that they need to manifest their heart's desire this beautiful, beautiful June to July by expanding their inner power, because they are their most powerful when their creativity is given a voice, particularly if they turn on their heart light and use the inspiration, allowing themselves to reflect on times when they experienced love in any way, shape, or form with the help of Archangel Azrael in their element, the element of air, to help them see this clearly, right? To move them through any bereavement, any wounds of loss. Everybody has wounds of loss. Who's taught how to grieve, right? And with that lapis lazuli, certainly a Gemini stone, if ever there was one that they can see with expanded awareness and allow their authenticity to shine through their light, their truth, to be clear and radiant from within, so that they can make the best possible decisions as they navigate the golden timeline of this lifetime. So, Artemis, goddess of the bow, help them see what they must know. Oh, for the well-being of all, and with harm to none, as we will it. So let it be done. So will it be. And so it is. It was a good read. Intense, but that's why you keep coming back, I would hope. And the sense of humor, let's hope, and the jewelry. If you liked it, hit the thumbs up. Help other Geminis find it. Really, anything that helps anybody process grief, because repeat after me, grief repressed turns into anxiety. It's just how it is. I didn't make it that way. I learned that from a TED Talk, though. Yeah. And if you want more of me here on YouTube, you know, subscribe, hit the notification bell, comment if you like, and you're more than welcome to. I do read them. But come over and definitely check out Patreon. I mean, Seeker, $3 a month gets you, like all of my subscribers, the daily check-ins, the extended readings, and the extensive discount. And right now we're running a special for Seeker, a 7-day trial. You can try us for free and opt out before the last day, or $3 a month. It's a lot of good stuff over there. So come Patreon on Patreon. And if you would like to book me for a private session, you can go to my website, drawingthecircle.com. Very simple to remember. In the store, you will see, you can click on stuff. Explains it in black and white and a lot of color in there as well. But there is a video that I made booking private sessions with Mal. Involves readings and spiritual counseling. And I have to say, being a spiritual counselor, I've done so much spiritual grief counseling, different than psychological. There's a difference. The law, you know, I don't screw around with the law that way or at all, really. But certainly, I had my toolkit, and I certainly turn to people as well. So reach out. It's what I do. It is probably my best healing art. Divination is a divinatory mystical art. Spiritual counseling is a healing art, and I'm good at it. I've been doing it for a very, very long time. So click the link if you want. Watch the video. I've never turned anyone away because of financial reasons. Ever. Where there's a witch, there's a way. We can work it out. So glad to help, glad to serve, and honestly, thank you so much for watching this video and even staying for this part of it. It's been a rough couple of days, but I am a witch, and I've had some black cats in my life since I was 12 years old. My first cat, Maxine, and my mom said a long time ago, we're supposed to outlive our aminals because the other way around is cruel, and she's right. So they'll keep reincarnating, and I'll be fine. And I thank you all so much for your love and your compassion, and wishing you all the very, very blessed and the very, very best of this beautiful, beautiful. Create what you need to create. Just do the healing as you go. Heal, hail, farewell, and blessed, blessed be.